This is DrNataliaCallahan with Week 10 Wednesday. How are you guys doing? Go ahead and pause the video and answer the following 3 questions for your warm-up vlog today. Okay, let's go ahead and add your assignment for Algebra 1. So this is Week 10 Wednesday for Algebra 1 Semester 2. Today we're going to talk about a summary review of quadratics. And its components. If you guys watched the video in its entirety, check in with me by first period. Today's Wednesday, so that's going to be 8:34 a.m. Upload your assignment by 3 p.m. All right, let's go ahead and get that started then. Okay, so first thing I want you guys to go ahead and focus on today is take a look at your answer here. So what are the missing values to make this work? Here they are. So on a separate piece of paper, what you're going to do at home is you are going to do a quick little poster rotation. So fold your paper in 6 different sections. The best way and the easiest way is if you just take this and fold it like that. So you're going to go over the following 5 concepts: solve by factoring, solve by completing the square, solve by quadratic formula, solve in standard form, and then graph in intercept form. And so on the first poster rotation, you are going to either type this tiny URL in or take your phone with your camera and scan this QR code. Well, I can't scan it on my computer with you while I'm making the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just click on this to bring that up. And once you scan it, this is where you should be. Okay, these are all the videos that's going to be on Solve by Factoring on YouTube. Your job is to go ahead and pick one of these videos and jot down 2 examples on this topic. Okay, if you're done with this one, our next one is Solve by completing the square. So once you go ahead and scan that QR code or type in that URL, here are all the videos that's going to be on the topic of Solve by completing the square. You could pick whichever one you want. I really like this one with Nancy because she has a really calm voice. And so watch one of the videos and copy down 2 different examples on this topic. Next one is on solve by quadratic formula. Scan the QR code or type the tiny URL in. Then here's all the videos on quadratic formula. Pick one and then jot down 2 different examples. I'm going to continue this on with graph quadratics in standard form, which we've talked about in class. Scan the QR code and pick one of the videos, jot down 2 of the, oh, this one did not work as well. This one I need to change and modify because it did not take you guys there. So let's go ahead and see what happened here. Let's see. So our next one is graph in standard form. So graph in standard form, so this is what it is. And I'm going to go ahead and click it on a tiny URL. Copy that and I'll paste it over here. So let's try that one more time. Graph in standard form. Okay, now it's working. Okay, so graph and standard form, do the same thing. Pick one of the videos, jot down the 2 examples. And then your last one is going to be on graph and intercept form. So these are the videos, pick one, jot down 2 examples. Okay, when you're done with that, example 6 is going to ask you to go ahead and say, how are you feeling about your performance in this class up to this point? Elaborate in your response. What can Dr. C do to make your experience more positive? And then again, type in the URL or scan it. And it's going to give you a video on how to go ahead and keep yourself motivated and study tips on how to survive the rest of the school year because you only have 9 more weeks left. Okay, so then at this point, you guys, we're going to go ahead and do a quick little review. So you should have something that looks like this, which is it's a honeycomb of all the topics that we discussed up to this point. And if you're at home, you guys are totally welcome to just take a paper and separate them. All right, so we're going to start off with the first one, difference of squares, okay? So I'm going to come up with an example. This is a formula, of course, that we were introduced in class. So the first one that I'm going to do, I'm going to make up 2 examples. One I'm going to show you how to do, the other one you're going to do it on your own. So a squared minus 9, okay? And then we'll do x squared minus 16. With a squared minus 9, notice that a squared minus 3 squared. So then you can say that a equals a and then b equals 3. So then your answer in this case is just going to be a minus 3, a plus 3. And that is your answer. So now you're going to try x squared minus 16, and you're going to write it into 2 different parentheses. What is that going to equal to? Okay, next I want to talk about trinomials. With your trinomials, here you have, let's say, x squared plus 10x plus 25 equals 0. So with this one, you're going to make a little table, okay? So 25 goes here, 10 goes here, and just keep in mind that all my answers are going to be positive. So what times what gives me a 25, but they have to be positive? Like 1 and 25, 5 and 5. Well, which one adds up to 10? Oh, it's the 5 and 5. So my answer in this case is x plus 5, x plus 5. Now you are going to try the next one on your own. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys x squared plus 16x plus 64. So factor that one out. All right, let's come over here. These are the perfect square trinomials. So what I'm going to have you guys do with this is we are going to work on this one here. So let's say we have a squared minus 4a minus 32. Okay, so with this one, you're going to go ahead and factor into a table. Your last number is negative 32. Your middle number is negative 4. Notice your answers are negative. So you're going to go ahead and figure out what times that gives me a negative 32, but they're negative numbers, like negative 1 and positive 32, positive 1, negative 32, negative 2 and 16, positive 2, negative 16, maybe a negative 4 and 8, positive 4 and negative 8. Now, one of them is going to add up to a negative 4. Which one is that going to be? You guessed it. X plus 4, x minus 8. And that is your answer. Now I'm going to have you guys try one, and I'm going to use b instead. So b squared minus let's do a negative 4b minus 45. What is that going to equal to? All right, next thing I'm going to do is we're going to take a look over here. trinomials, but we're going to be solving, okay? So let's say, for example, let's have 2x squared minus, actually, I'm going to have to take a moment and see if I can find one that works perfectly. So we're going to do a 2x squared plus 3x minus 3. Okay, so this one, notice the coefficient in front of the a is bigger than 1. So what you're going to do is going to take the first number, multiply it by the second number, or the last number, give you a -6. Middle number is a +3. And you're going to notice that you're going to use negative numbers here. So to make a -6, we're going to do a -1 and 6, +1, -6, -2 and 3, +2 and -3. Oh, I'm sorry. You know what? Just kidding. It's not going to be a 3 in the middle. It's going to be a positive -5. -5. Just kidding. Huh. -5. So let's change that. No, +5. Yeah, +5. So which one of these added together is going to give me a +5? That's the answer right there. So then my temporary answer in this case is going to be an x minus 1, x plus 6. But remember, you have to divide it by the bigger number in the front, which is a 2. So you bring that 2 in the front. So 2x minus 1. And then x plus 3. And that is your answer. Now, I'm going to have you guys try this one. So you are going to have a 3x squared minus 2x minus 1. So put that into 2 parentheses. Okay, so now let's talk about quadratic formula. With your quadratic formula, sometimes keep in mind that you may not be able to factor something. Like, for example, if you have x squared plus x plus 4. Okay, so as you look at this, notice how no matter how you go about factoring this, 1, 4, 2, 2, there's no way you can get a 1 when you add it together. So in which case, you know this is going to be in a decimal, I'm going to have to use the quadratic formula. So with the quadratic formula, remember you're going to have assigned a equals 1, b equals 1, c equals 4. So let's plug this in. So -1 plus or minus the square root of 1 squared minus 4ac all the way over 2 times 1. So let's go ahead and reduce this a little bit. Plus or minus 1 minus 16 over 2. So with your answer is you're going to split it into 2 pieces, -1 plus or minus square root of -15 over 2. So you have x equals a -1 plus a square root of -15. X equals -1 minus a square root of -15. And they're all divided by 2. Okay, let's take a look at this one here. Let's say you have an x squared plus 6x plus, let's see, how I want to set this up. 9. Let's do a minus 16. Okay, so looking at this right here, you want to create the space. So x squared plus 6x plus blank. Move your 16 over, plus blank. Your middle number is 6. I'm going to divide it by 2, and then I'm going to square it, which gives me a 9. So then I have x plus 3 squared equals 25. To solve for this, I'm going to go ahead and square root both sides, which gives me a plus or minus 5. Subtract a 3. My first answer is a negative 3 plus 5. And my second answer is a negative 3 minus 5. So my answer in this case is going to give me a 2 and a negative 8. All right, you guys, this should keep you occupied for the next 45 minutes. As always, stay safe and healthy, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.